Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Rachel Burden and Charlie State.
And our headlines today. Around 13,000 people employed by one of the High Street's biggest retailers, Arcadia, are waiting to hear if their jobs are safe. In a letter to the UN Security Council, Tehran said it reserved the right to defend its people and its interests. Our security correspondent Gordon Carrera reports. It's very pretty, though.
Yeah, lovely, absolutely lovely.
And this has got to be my favourite story of the day. You might have seen this last night. It was doing the rounds on social media, actually. We know lots of Christmas lights are going up this weekend. And it's the fact that it takes the plunger sort of several efforts to get right. I should say, they have responded to going viral. It's one of these classic things that no one would have been paying any attention to the town switch on necessarily otherwise, or not many people.
I don't know, I hadn't realised quite what big business, maybe you know this, Rachel, what big business candles are at the moment.
Huge.
You do, don't you?
I'd like you to say it.
I think what we're doing is we're talking mainly, instead of talking about that, we're talking about Anthony Hopkins candles. Anything to add to the candle discussion?
I do, because actually this is going to be a real downer on it, and I'm sorry to sound so miserable. They're bad for the environment. Louise Lear will know about this because she's clever.
Well, I'll tell you this, Louise. Anthony Hopkins' candle range is a fragrance collection with gardenia, tuberose and sandalwood. Louise, thank you very much. See you later on.
Must just mention before we move on, Lennox Lewis coming up live on the programme to talk about Mike Tyson's return.
Good morning, this is Breakfast with Rachel Burden and Charlie State.
Right, we're going to go straight to the sport now. Mike is here.
Well, it's very inspiring. That is going to be quite some
gorgeous.
event. Quite some event.
Yeah.
How's it looking for the weekend weather-wise? Louise has got all the details for us this morning.
Pubs, restaurants and bars in Wales are to have tougher restrictions imposed on them following a rise in coronavirus cases.
Around 13,000 people employed by one of the High Street's biggest retailers, Arcadia, are waiting to hear if their jobs are safe, with the company said to be on the brink of collapse.
I'm going to talk to the SNP about their party conference in a moment or two, but we'll get the weather first. Louise Lear is here with all the details this morning. Bit grey, bit dull today, right? It's 7:24. Now, around 2.7 million people are living under Scotland's toughest coronavirus restrictions.
7:31, the headlines are coming up in just a moment. Hello, this is Breakfast with Rachel Burden and Charlie State.
Let's get to the headlines then. Oh no, we're going straight to the sport. I'm so sorry.
Mike, so he's not standing there for nothing, you know. His time now is 7:38. More than 2.5 million people thought to be most at risk from coronavirus are to be offered free vitamin D supplements.
Particularly pertinent to people, black, Asian, minority, ethnic people as well.
Yeah. People are getting quite a lot of news which sends them in different directions. So on the one hand, we have the wonderful news that the R rate. It's a challenging times in terms of how people think about where we are in the midst of the pandemic. How many people? So the 0.9 to 0.1 means it's only one person. Now, it's a very much a theoretical figure, isn't it?
Dr. Sarah Jarvis for your time this morning. The sage advice over a safe Christmas and how to celebrate is pretty strict. Sorry about that.
7:44 is time.
Right, it's 7:47 here on BBC Breakfast. The news will follow at 8, but first of all, it's Newswatch with Samira Ahmed.
Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Rachel Burden and Charlie State.
Our headlines today.
Iran has blamed Israel for the assassination of the scientist who's believed to have masterminded the country's nuclear weapons programme.
And look, this is one of our other favourite stories of the morning. You might have seen it doing the rounds on social media last night. Lots of places switching on their Christmas lights this weekend. Yeah, it's a huge worry for all those people working in these businesses. Administrators could be appointed to the group. As early as Monday, they own Topshop, Dorothy Perkins and Burton. Here's our business correspondent. Now, across England, residents and businesses are coming to terms with what the new tiers will mean when they come into effect on Wednesday. Charlie, for rugby union fans, New Zealand-Argentina this morning could be the third time the All Blacks have lost. Now, this is just lovely. Of course, restrictions meant they couldn't meet to perform in the usual way, but they got the help of the poet laureate Simon Armitage to create 2 new works.
You might be some weather pun you want to come up with, I don't know.
If you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, do you know what? That song takes me right back to, of all the stories you've heard, are there any that particularly stand out? And she was just sitting, watching things unfold as she's arrived there.
Let's focus on the elephant, Charlie.
Good point. Let's do that. 14 minutes past 9 is the time. Always here to help.
That takes you back to your new romantic days, Charlie, doesn't it? I can
Not
see.
quite. Not quite.
I can see why you're going for that look.
Not quite. 9:33, we've got the sport coming up in just a moment. Things to clarify, we should add the company is not linked with a separate business called Dolphin Capital Investors.
What a joy. What a way to finish. That's it from us today. Breakfast back tomorrow. I'll be here with Chris Mason from 6.
Bye-bye.